investment calculator, which is what Jess is going to talk to us today about, is just that, the AgTech return on investment calculator, which is a bit of a mouthful.
Just have to plug my computer in because let's make sure this works. The right one. Morning everyone, and thank you to Hannah for putting on this day and organising everything so well. The AgTech calculator, the AgTech RRI calculator, is a joint project with the Southern New South Wales Innovation Hub and MLA. I worked quite a lot with this project last year, but then I went on maternity leave, so I missed a lot of the project happening itself. So I've sort of come in at the tail end again to pick up and see what's been happening. So before I go into any more detail, we're going to play a quick video just to sort of give a little bit of background on some of the producers that were worked to develop the prototype. Let's see what they had to say.
We run a steer fattening operation on the property, and we also run a shorthorn Angus cross cow herd. We've just made significant investments in infrastructure upgrades, and we're now looking to improve our Wi-Fi signal across the farm to really step forward and look through the current lens of opportunities to improve efficiencies and therefore profitability on the property, and understand how AgTech can help us achieve that.
We run a mixed beef and sheep operation, but majority beef. AgTech excites me. I've grown around tech. I think it's a really exciting era that we're in farming at the moment, particularly with the challenges that our industry faces every day. I think AgTech can resolve a lot of those challenges, but also can be some of those challenges. We need to know that the value proposition of what it promises to offer is actually going to be there.
Technology has been identified as one of the new frontiers for improving productivity, profitability and sustainability in agriculture in Australia over the next decade. Enhancing our ability to adopt new technologies is critical to achieving those outcomes. And so the things that we do right now that increase the speed with which AgTech can be picked up is going to be very important. The project, Capturing the Value of AgTech on Farm, is focused on overcoming one of the obstacles in the adoption of new technologies, which is understanding how long it takes to get a return on that investment. We're taking a piloted program that MLA created for northern beef production, and we're translating that into southern sheep and beef production systems.
So what we're really trying to achieve with this project is to take the AgTech return on investment calculator tool that we've developed to a prototype and a proof of concept and get that online, so it's available for all producers to be able to access. The ideal outcome for us would be to have producers using this tool and for it to be really helping them to plan their decision making around the adoption of AgTech.
The process of being involved with the project's been great. It's been really well facilitated. I've enjoyed sitting down and threshing things out with the rest of the group. I think it's important that they get producer concepts to come in to build these calculators so that we can actually be able to work out what the value of the AgTech will be to our businesses. I think at the end of the day, we always wonder how we're going to explain to our bank manager or our senior management the need for a certain item. Now with an ROI calculator, we're able to sit down and go, look at the actual metrics and see what value that it can add to our business. And value in both time saving and also economically.
I'm really impressed with the work of the Southern Innovation Hub because the approach that works, as they're demonstrating, is when you sit down and you consider practice change and opportunities for producers, you start with the end in mind. So our all-important producer partners are at the table right at the very beginning of any initiative. They're part of the co-design process and they're absolutely critical in the development and the delivery of the projects live. This sets projects up for a very good chance of adoption. Why? Because they're being proven live, and also for long-lasting impact because the context has been set by the people that matter.
The short-term benefits of this project are that our sheep and cattle producers in southern New South Wales they'll have a really great understanding of the opportunities of the technology to improve the productivity, profitability and sustainability of what they're currently doing. The longer-term benefits are we can take this thinking to other industries. We can have a different conversation around grain production, wine production, cotton production, horticulture. And that's really exciting, I think.
So as was mentioned in the video, it was already a prototype that the MLA had developed, and they had case studies from northern New South Wales, but we brought it down to southern New South Wales and worked with producers to apply it to this area down here. So because the project, this tool hasn't gone live yet, they're hoping that it will be live by Beef Week, which will be at the end of May. I can't actually run through the live tool itself. The hub was recently over at Evoke Ag in WA, and they went through some screenshots of what it will look like once it is live. So I'm going to go through those with you today. So they've put 2 case studies so far. I'll go through the water management side of things now, but if anyone wants to, there's also a livestock one that I have on here that we can go through if anyone wants to talk to me about it later on, but I'll leave that one just due to time. Okay, so this is what it will look like when it's live. You can access this through the Southern New South Wales page and MLA. It's free. It'll be free for producers to access. So essentially when you log in, you will go through the first stage, which will just be gathering information about your farm. So as I said today, we're going to go through in terms of water management. It'll ask you in terms of the ag tech context, what you're wanting to achieve by employing some form of ag tech on your farm. And then it will show you the map. This is just sort of located, I've just sort of zoomed in on where I am here. And so these are just sort of basic questions profiling your enterprise. So in terms of today, I mean, we're talking about pastures today. They did look at employing ag tech and return on investment in terms of monitoring pastures, but at this point in time for where the tool is at, they just found it was a little bit complicated to quantify the return on investment when you're looking at production of animals. So we'd have to look at, kill sheeps and all that sort of thing. But I just wanted to say that that is something that they're going to revisit as this tool evolves. But I just want to say, in terms of today, we're talking about pastures, it is something that has been considered in terms of monitoring and in the ROI tool. So things like this, how many kilometres a day are you travelling to check water points on your farm? Are you using, what kind of vehicle are you using, a buggy, motorbike, 4-wheel drive? And how long each day would this take you? And then how much would you cost out that labour on farm to check those water points? Cost of fuel. So this is already been pre-entered because we use this at Evoke Ag. And then how many water storage points on the farm do you monitor? So we'll just go through. And what sort of percentage of the daily checks would you be spending checking water on the farm? And then if you had an AgTech device to use instead of having to drive around and check all these water points, how many hours of the day do you think you would save by doing this? Would you need support, so on-farm support to install these sensors? Okay, so this, in terms of installing this infrastructure, we've broken down here, so it shows a one-off cost of installing those sensors, or they break it down also into a monthly cost, so you can see what it would be per month. And then at the end of this, so it's very similar for the livestock, so checking livestock section, it will go through with you your total savings and the total investment cost. So then you can see this section here. So you can see what it would be without the AgTech, so the water sensors installed on farm, and then for this case study here with the AgTech employed, it's, you know, a fairly decent net saving that has been identified. So this is a tool that can be used for producers to break down costs if they want to move forward and employ some kind of AgTech on farm. And in this case, that's for water management. And this, yeah, can be used for, you know, other forms of technology that you're thinking about using. And then it sort of lists, you know, all of the improved, you know, the benefits you're getting by employing this technology. So I'll just quickly show you, which I said I can, as I said, you can come over and I can show you on my computer. I just wasn't able to pass on these slides yet because it's being held very tightly because it hasn't been released yet, of what it looks like if you are putting in some other sort of metrics here as well. So that's where it's up to. So in terms of finding out when it will be live, keeping an eye on the Southern New South Wales social media pages, so Facebook, our website, and then MLA will obviously also, you know, on their pages show when it's live as well. But yeah, the final prototype will be going live at Beef Week. So that's the AgTech ROI calculator. Thank you. And yeah, any questions, please come and see me. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Jess. We might have time just for a quick burning question if there's one in the crowd somewhere.
No?
Quiet. Okay.
All good.
All good. You might
Thank
be off
you.
the hook until
Yeah.
after lunch
Yeah,
when you're
thank
coming
you.
back.